Hey, you're listening to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, and this is your host, Grady Hooker. Recently, this past weekend, my co-host, Josh, sat down with AIW female manager, Veronica Ticklefeather, and I'll play a short clip from that interview now.
Since many of our listeners might not know of you and your work, can you tell them a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Well, I have been a wrestling manager for a couple years now. I started out in Chikara, managing with Archer Paul Pack for quite some time. And later it was Mr. Touchdown, and the last group that I was with was Tim Don. And since then, I've been in AIW for, I would say, about a year and a half, or maybe a year, managing the Bateri. They have been tag champions twice since I've been managing them. And I really enjoy being a manager. There's not a lot of managers out there in professional wrestling. There's just very few. And the few that are there, we do one heck of a job of being managers, and I enjoy every single minute of it. I really do.
Yeah, female wrestlers are extremely rare nowadays. Managers are extremely rare nowadays.
Well, growing up, it was during the late 80s, early 90s, and I will watch a lot of WWF. Of course, whenever I saw, Miss Elizabeth or Sensational Sherry, it was always, night and day, good and bad. That just simple little stories of everything. And I always loved Miss Elizabeth. She didn't have to say much, but she did so much during the matches. Especially now that I'm older and I rewatched some of that stuff, it was just so mind-blowing of what she did. And so when I saw Sherry and everything, of course, when you're a kid, you get more emotion and stuff like that from her. See, she started out as a professional wrestler, and of course, like her really great matches with Fabulous Moolah and so on and so forth. And when she became a female manager for like Macho Man and, of course, the $1 Million Man and Shawn Michaels and everything, she really put their careers, these men, careers on a whole different level. She just adds so much spice to their careers. And she knew how to be calculating. She wasn't afraid to get rough with the boys, interfering in matches, and, of course, her taking bumps and everything. You really don't realize that as a kid, but once you get into the business, it's like, wow, she really wasn't afraid of anything. She was just a very strong and powerful woman who just got in there and did what she had to do. I was mentioning Sunny, and during the 90s, everybody had a crush on her. My dad always, he had a huge crush on her, so I really didn't pay much attention to her. But as I got older and I would rewatch her stuff, like with the Body Donnas, and just seeing her, working the crowd and everything with the emotions and everything, really telling the story outside of the ring, just to emphasize a move or, if there was something bad that was happening to her team or anything like that, she really knew what she was doing. And of course she was, very cute, and unfortunately, sometimes I hate saying this, but sex does sell, and she was just very gorgeous and very cute, as a person and everything, and I think that's why she became so popular. But it wasn't so much of looks, it was also she had talent and everything.
So hear the full interview there. I think it's about 30 minutes. Josh definitely loves to talk. You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling R Radio. So we'll jump back into it with the classic entrance theme of the week. It's Batista's I Walk Alone. Okay, you're back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0. That was Batista's song, I Walk Alone. We're back now with Grady Hooker and live via Skype. I've got Josh.
Hey.
A quite prominent angle throughout Raw and SmackDown this week has definitely been the corporate evolution dominating WWE as a whole.
Yeah, they're starting to flex their muscles, showing that they mean business. And Daniel Bryan is their whipping boy.
Yeah, it's definitely a team we've seen before with Twinkle Toe Orton and Sellout in a suit.
Yeah. Oh man, that was a classic line. Although Triple H singing if you wish upon a star was hilarious.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if his kids cringe when he goes to read them books or sing to them at night.
Yeah. This angle so far does seem to be sort of a mishmash of a bunch of ones they've done before.
But that's not always a bad thing, though.
No, but you are seeing things like Orton's car getting destroyed.
A car shows up on Raw, it's getting destroyed. Period.
Well,
It doesn't matter who it belongs to.
Alberto's survived for a little while before Sheamus took it out for a drive.
Yeah, but Edge destroyed it at WrestleMania.
Fair enough. JBL's car?
That was destroyed by Crime Time and John Cena.
Okay, if you're a car, you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
We also saw Christian sort of step out of line a little bit.
Yeah, we're starting to see people try to push the boundaries just a little bit, and then Triple H and them just bam, smack them right back.
Yeah, with a match with Randy.
I have a feeling somebody's going to get fired in a match with Randy Orton here in the next couple of weeks.
Fair enough. Probably someone who's been outspoken a bit.
Probably. Maybe The Miz.
Because over on SmackDown of his Miz TV segment.
Maybe. This is just an interesting angle. There's a lot of possibilities with it. We know that this is not going to end at Night of Champions no matter what happens there.
Yeah. The main event of Raw was actually Daniel Bryan taking on all of the Shield in a handicap match.
A gauntlet match.
Gauntlet. He still took on all three, and I think he won, technically?
He beat Seth Rollins.
Then
they started the Ambrose match, and Reigns came in and got Rollins disqualified, and then the beatdown happened.
Okay.
So the third match never happened.
But technically he won 2 out of 3.
He won 2 matches, and the third never happened.
That's a win in my books. But, yeah, Triple H is definitely controlling the Shield with that nod.
Yeah. How often do you hear a loud Big Show chant?
Yeah. It was quite amazing, but he had to shut up and stay up in the line.
Yeah. The WWE audience didn't forget about the ironclad contract.
No. Gotta love that contract.
So we'll have to see if WWE remembers it and how they approach it.
Well, it seems that Big Show is at least going to be a big player in this angle, especially even if he wasn't before. After that crowd chant, they have to put him in it.
Yeah, pretty much. It was pretty much going to be guaranteed that he'd be part of it somehow.
Yeah. Over on SmackDown, Miz held I wouldn't call it an interview. They barely talked, but a segment with Ziggler and Big Show?
They're really trying not to cross the line here. I mean, because they've already been fed to the Shield.
Yeah.
In Ziggler's case, twice.
Yeah, as he did later on in the night. But forcing Big Show to stay at ringside and pretty much watch everything that happened.
That was funny. I don't know what's going to come about this, but this is definitely going to be very interesting.
Yeah, I think looking at my notes quickly, 3 out of 5 matches on SmackDown were pretty much this angle-centric. With Miz taking on Randy Orton, and of course, losing. And then Ziggler taking on the Shield and losing. And then Bryan taking on Ryback, but not losing.
No, winning by disqualification.
Which is a win.
And then he gets spray painted on him.
Yeah. That'll take a while to wash off. But, did Big Show actually get into the ring in that last one?
Yeah, he got in the ring, but Triple H ordered him out of it.
Okay. So he's almost being pushed over that line.
Question is which direction does he go when he goes over that line?
Fair enough. Now that we're sort of finished with that, we'll jump all the way back over to the start of Raw. Cody Rhodes took on Fandango.
This was just a weird segment. I'm not sure what to call this because Cody and Sandal's feud somehow meshed with Miz's and Fandango's, and Miz came out in the Fandango outfit and danced with Rosa Mendez.
Ms. Dango.
Yeah, I have no idea what happened here.
Well, I'm pretty sure we all knew that, I think we were all hoping it was Teddy, but it had to be Brad that made the announcement.
Well, of course, he's been going to Teddy Long's school of general managing.
Yep. And then he made a tag team match. Now, see, that would have made sense from the start.
But they wanted to have Miz come out and mock Fandango.
Yeah. And then Fandango ended up deserting Sandow, I think, and Miz picked up the win.
Yeah, he did his famous walks down to the end of the ring and then grabs the mic and says his name after the match is over.
Getting sick of his name at this point. But
I think that's the whole point.
Fair enough. We'll jump into the current entrance theme of the week. It was your pick, wasn't it, Josh?
Yes, Stephanie.
You're back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady, Hooker, and Josh. We'll jump back into Raw where we left off. There was a promo for the repackaging of Epico and Primo.
Yes, they're going to be called the Los Matadores.
Got to put on your accent.
Which is going to be a bullfighting gimmick.
Yeah. Not too sure where I stand on this yet until I actually see it in person, sort of thing, rather than in a promo.
Yeah, it's going to be I'm interested just to see if it's going to be something different. Other than that, I'm not that sure about it myself.
It's hit and miss. It could either go straight through, be great, or it could fail miserably.
Yeah.
Then we've sort of got another long-running angle throughout Raw and stuff is the CM Punk Heyman back and forth.
Yeah, I know that this whole situation here took a turn that you didn't like.
Yep.
Because the Intercontinental Champion, who hasn't defended his title in like 2 months, is not going to be defending his title at the pay-per-view that says that all championships must be defended.
Yep. Oh. It's not that nice. It needs to be defended. I could rant for like 80 days and 80 nights about how it needs to be defended. They're just sort of ignoring his Intercontinental Championship.
Anyone with half a brain knew what the stipulation was going to be for this match.
Yeah.
I just voted differently because I wanted to be different.
It was my first time voting. I just voted with my heart. But, yeah, it didn't happen too much. I guess Heyman did get in the ring.
Yeah, he did, and then he delivered an amazing promo while he's beating the heck out of CM Punk.
Yeah.
I loved you! Pow! I fathered you! Whack! I cared about you! Pow!
Yeah, it was, you can see it getting really personal between these two.
Mm-hmm. And it was just absolutely amazing.
Yeah. It does seem like Curtis Axel is like the son he never loved.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm picking favourites out of my sons. You know, the one that's buggered off and isn't actually my son anymore, but he's still my favourite over you, Axel.
And the weird thing is, there's probably somebody in the shadows that he loves more than Axel as well.
Yeah. But it's I gotta think it's about the number 2 angle running through them right now.
Yeah. Well, you got to keep Punk busy because obviously he can't be in the championship picture.
Yeah. Yet. Talking about this is about number 3 angle. We got an RVD taking on Alberto Del Rio match.
Yeah, this is even sadder than usual for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Ricardo.
There's not one angle above it. There's 2.
Yeah. Ricardo just does not fit with RVD.
No. But I think he was supposed to be partnered up with Rey Mysterio, but Rey Mysterio wasn't ready yet.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
That would have made more sense.
Yeah, nothing between the pairing makes sense. The intro is not good. But if it's getting the title off Alberto, I'm happy.
Yeah. And getting down to Damian Sandow.
No, not up to RVD.
Transitional champion.
Although we did see over on SmackDown, RVD absolutely demolished Sandow.
The Money in the Bank winner, especially the SmackDown one, always loses. And then cashes in when you least expect it.
Okay. Gonna take a step. The number 4 angle running through these. I'm gonna call it just the plain Total Divas angle.
Oh, what a promo by AJ.
So we're just ignoring the match, are we?
Yes. The match didn't matter because the only thing that mattered was the promo by AJ. That was old school women's wrestling, and she absolutely killed this promo. It was definitely a pipe bomb.
Yeah. I'll talk about the match. I'm still not happy about JoJo announcing. She doesn't sound right.
She's probably not going to last.
And I think Brie Bella picked up the win over another certain diva.
Yeah, Natalya lost.
Yeah. But yeah, that did all get overshadowed by the AJ Lee promo at the end, but I guess the divas have to do everything they have with their about 10 seconds of airtime they get. Mm-hmm. Let's pick and choose. I'll go with the number 5 angle, naming it now. It's the tag team generic random roll them all into one giant feud that actually has no tag team titles on the line because the Shield are hogging those in the Corporate Evolution angle, promo angle. And that includes the Titus O'Neil versus Jack Swagger match.
I've enjoyed how they're starting to build the primetime players. They're building them slowly by using another tag team that really isn't going anywhere right now with the Real Americans. And they're doing it without mentioning a certain something.
Yeah.
And I really have enjoyed that.
Fair enough.
I really think at the end we may see the primetime players defeat the Shield for the tag team titles.
Maybe, but if we're talking about building up tag teams, over on SmackDown, the Wyatt family had another match with tons of fun.
Is there not another team, any team, that you could put against the Wyatts and have them lose to them? Come on!
Hey,
Unless what they're going to do is they're going to do what they did to Kane to Brodus Clay. And drag him out and then turn him into the monster that he should have been in the first place.
although Sweet Tea no longer paints his face, so a little bit of an upside on that horrible match.
That's the only thing that I could see that maybe makes sense, is if they can take control of Brodus Clay.
Yeah. Oh, I hope they do something like that. Just, as long as I don't have to see that match too many more times.
And how about the Sister Abigail promo?
Yeah, that was creepy.
Yeah. I actually have a theory that I think you're going to like.
Okay, shoot.
Alright. Well, how do you think about this? Maybe Sister Abigail is an actual person. A diva from the NXT, who happens to be the women's NXT champion.
I don't know who you're talking about.
A young lady by the name of Paige.
Who's that? I know no Paige. It's not like I've been ranting for weeks about putting her up onto the main roster.
Right, yeah, it's just an interesting thought I had. Maybe if you could give her, in order to give her some kind of significance, is maybe to pair her up with the Wyatts.
Yeah, she seems to be more of the I'll go on my own, though. I don't know if she'll work nicely with the creepy Wyatts.
She has a creepy look. At least when she debuted in FCW, she did.
Yeah.
So it could work. And I've just been thinking, when he started with the Sister Abigail promos, what if he's actually talking about an actual person?
Yeah. It sounds like he is, but he could just be talking about the move. He's that kind of guy that can send double meanings.
Yeah. But it's just something interesting that I thought of.
Okay. Well, I think those are the main angles. It's been great talking to you.
It's been great being on again.
And hopefully next week, is it?
Should be.
And in a quick recap of what happened at Steve Wrigley Presents IPW Live, the returning Ty Cade defeated Mason Daniels with a modified Cobra Clutch. Elias managed to defeat Joseph Kincaid. Alfred Valentine defeated Ruben de Jong, but didn't really get his revenge because it was via countout with Ruben walking out on the match. Then the TK Cooper, the guy we just had on for an interview a little while ago, he teamed up with Little T and defeated Liger and Kurt Chaos to head into the final for the IPW Tag Team Championships. King Falad defeated Kingy after a low blow. And somehow, some way, Vinny Dunn managed to retain his IPW Championship against James Shaw. It was following assistance from Steve Wrigley again, but that was not the worst decision he made on the night. He also handed over the IPW Women's Championship to Emmy Driver. Nobody knows who she is, what she does, or anything like that, but hopefully we'll see where that goes. And their next show is IPW Sacrifice or Surrender. They've already announced two big matches. James Shaw will team with Kingy to take on Vinny Dunn and Ty Cade, while TNT will take on the team of Jacob Cross and Aaron Henry to see who will be the tag team champions. That's it for this week. Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0. This has been Grady, Hooker, and Josh. Visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling R Radio, and I'll see you next week.